What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. This is episode 5 now on the series. I have probably one of the biggest, most spectacular episodes planned today. You guys can see up in the top right-hand corner there, we have $22,000, almost 23. Your boy has been putting in some serious work. I have been grinding so hard here. We are now level 9. So first mostly, we got a couple of cases that I have to open. A couple of things that we got here. We're gonna sell all these parts from these previous jobs that I did. So let's change this to 99% here. We will get rid of. There we go. So we have 4 cases here we need to open, and we got a couple more barn location maps, which is pretty sick. So let's take a look here at this first case. Looks like we got a wheel. It's probably not the best looking wheel in the world. Okay, so it looks like we got a Rim Retro 01 wheel. That's pretty sweet. It's not a bad looking wheel. And then we have the, oh god, do you see it? T-Series. We have a T-Series engine head there, and then we have an engine head cover B for a V8 overhead D. All right. So obviously the cylinder head cover there we're going to end up selling. Let's check out this other one here, see what we got. Got a drive shaft, it looks like. Oh, just a shaft. Just a shaft. Cert belt A for an i3 specifically. And then a rear exhaust section for the Pagani Huayra. That is super cool. That's probably going to bring in a lot of money. So we will sit on that here for a second. Let's open up the third case here. See what we got in this one. Another cylinder head, some ignition coils, and then a throttle body maybe. Yeah, throttle B for a V8. That could come in handy. Ignition wires for an i6 and a cylinder head for a V12. Okay, very cool. Got a lot of quality 1 here items that we're going to be selling. Let's check this last case here, case number 4. See what we got in this one. Another cylinder head. Air filter and a block maybe? No, another head. Okay, so a B6A head. We got a engine head for a V8 OHVK. I'm not sure what that's off of. And then a round air filter side draft, quality 5. That one we are going to hang on to. That's going to be super awesome. So let's sell the quality 1 parts. We got 208 there, 93 there, 18, 780 for the rear exhaust section. I knew that was going to bring in some buck. A V12 head. Oh, wow. That's more expensive than the exhaust. $1,100 there. Throttle body, $145. And the cylinder head for $1,800. All right. One last one here. $468. I'll take it. All right, sweet. And then the rim, of course, we're going to get rid of because we have no use for it. We can get $200 out of that. Looks pretty good to me. Okay, so we are now at $28,000, which is just amazing. But the reason that this episode is so huge, literally huge, is because we're about to expand the shop. So you guys probably saw that from the thumbnail already. But if you take a look here, we have all of these skills maxed out. Now we could have bought this before, but I wanted to get the basic skills advanced beforehand. So we have 3 skill points at our disposal. Let's upgrade the garage here. First, I just want to take a look around and see what happened. All right, very cool. So we got the repair bench over here. That's going to allow us to, when we remove parts from a vehicle, we can bring it over to the repair bench, fix them on up, and then over here, this is the test path. So it's not necessarily like an alignment rack or anything like that. It's basically just a pit that we can check the brakes, we can check the suspension, we can check all that, just having the car drive through this path here. So that is going to come in handy for sure, especially on the next car. The car we're going to be doing today seems like it's suspension related, so that's going to come in handy for sure. So the next one I want to get, obviously, the iPad. I am so sick of walking back to the computer every time we're working on a car. We come here, we check the car out, we go back to our computer. Now we're going to be able to just open up the computer from our tablet. It's going to come in handy like you wouldn't believe. So now that we've done that, let's come back over here. Now the next one, I really don't know what I should do. So we obviously have an examination perk that we could use, which only allows us to instantly examine 3 parts when seeing a car for the first time. So whether that's an order, a barn car, a junkyard, or an auction car. And then once we hit that tier, the next one would be 100% faster screwing and unscrewing, which is definitely a big perk. But now that we have the repair table, I'm thinking we just raise our odds of a successful repair by 55%. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock that upgrade there. All right, so that does it for our skill points. Look at that, dude. We got a huge garage now. Looking good. Okay, so let's get in our first car of the day here. It's an FMW Roadster. I think it's supposed to be like the lore-friendly BMW Roadster, like a Z3 or a Z4, something along those lines. He says, I was on my way back from a party, and I believe I might have hit a rather large pothole or something. Please assess the damage and make any necessary repairs. This car belongs to my father-in-law. Okay, what a guy. Has to steal his father-in-law's BMW just to go to a party. It does sort of look like a Z3. Let's move this over to car lifter A. There we go, and let's take a look. So it looks like everything, actually, whoa. I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. Didn't mean to do that. I actually wanted it back on the ground. Let's see if we can move it from here to the test path. There we go. Okay, so we're actually going to utilize one of our new upgrades for the shop here. Let's come over to the test path machine. Are you sure you want to proceed? Hell yeah. Let's hop in this thing. All right, so it struggled to start, but that's no big deal. So we just have to accelerate up to the first point here. We're going to hold the brakes, check the brakes out first. So front brakes on the driver's side are looking a little bad. They're at 39%. We'll check the rear here. Rear brakes on the driver's side, again, 39%. So we definitely have brakes over there. It's going to stop us here and do a shake test of the front suspension, so we'll be able to see what's going on there. See if there's any issues. We got 43% on the driver's side again in the front. I'm sure the rear is probably about the same. Hopefully a little better. Okay, yeah, definitely a little bit better. We got 64% on the rear. So let's take a look at this. This is going to give us sort of a printout, if you will, of all the stuff that we tested here. Let's check on the car status. We'll hop out of the car here. All right, so the parts that were not discovered, unfortunately, we're going to have to take apart and check for ourselves. Obviously, the wheels are going to need to come off. So let's move the car back over to car lifter A. All right, and we can lift this thing in the air. Let's take these wheels off. Probably first thing we should do. Okay, it looks like the radiator's definitely worse for wear as well. Let's get rid of these wheels quick. All right, with both of the rear wheels, with both of the wheels removed, let's come over to our tire changer and separate them. We got a Rim Classic 06 and an 18. We'll have to see what the offset on that is once we remove this one from the machine here. Okay, and let's check what our offset was on those wheels. We got an offset of 0, Rim Classic 06, ET 0. So let's buy some rims here. 2 and an 18, offset 0. Perfect. So we got 2 new wheels here for him. There we go. We can install the new wheels on the tires. The tires were actually in good condition, so we don't have to worry about that much. There we go. First tire done. We'll remove that, put our new one on there, or our other new one, and then let's get that one balancing out here while we wait on this one to finish up. Okay, we can remove that one. Now we just have to wait for this the balance process to happen. Nothing happens on the screen, which is kind of strange. But this game actually does a really, really good job. Like, this is pretty much what tire machines look like, even like down to the foot pedals down here. That is super cool. All right, so let's get this off of the balancer here. Let's put our other one on there. Perfect. Okay, and let's go take a look at what needs replaced on this thing. So obviously we know the front suspension components definitely need replaced. We're going to have to take off the front sway bar end link, although it is in fine condition. Let's get rid of the shock absorber here. Unmount our brake calipers. Okay, take the pads off. How are the pads, actually? Pads are actually good. So it's more or less just the rotor here. Let's get rid of the axle. That's going to need replaced as well. Take out the wheel hub bearing here. Now we can remove the front hub. There we go. Alright, front axle knuckle cover is coming off. We got outer tie rod and inner tie rod. Looks like just on this side. Now we can remove the lower suspension arm here. Oh, actually we have to do that from underneath the car. So let's just raise it all the way up. There we go. Now we can get back under here. And let's get rid of this thing. So the bushings in this are obviously going to need replaced as well. But we can worry about that when we get there. Let's head on over to the rear here. Rear doesn't look as bad. So the one thing that the test path is not going to find is the rear muffler or any of the exhaust issues that we might have. So it looks like just visually those are definitely going to need replaced. Brake caliper and pads are fine. I didn't get a good look there to see if the cylinder inside the caliper needs replaced, but I'm sure it probably does. I don't even know why we're taking that. Oh, no, I was going to say, I don't know why we're taking that apart. It doesn't need replaced, but we have to in order to get to the knuckle here. So let's remove the rear spring cap. Let's remove the rear spring and the spring cap at the base. We can get rid of the suspension arm. That's going to need replaced. Take out this small rubber bushing here. That is at 88% actually. That's kind of surprising. Let's get rid of the rear shock absorber here. Take out this rubber bushing here. That one looks okay too. It's at 88%. Take the suspension arm off. The end link is okay, but it does need to come off so we can get that knuckle out of there. And then this other suspension arm here. That's coming out. And now we just have to get off this top brace here, this top arm, just so we can remove the knuckle. There we go. All right, so that should do it for the brake stuff here. We can try out our repair bench. I really hope we can at least get some of this stuff repaired. I don't know. With a 55% chance, I feel like we're not going to be able to repair most of it. Let's check. Let's see. He wants, obviously, since it's a story car, he's going to want 100%. Brand new OEM parts on this thing, so that's no big deal. We can definitely make that happen, but that makes our odds of a successful repair way worse. So let's see. Cooling system, we're gonna have to remove the radiator fan housing. Looks like those are both in good condition. Radiator is definitely crappy. Everything else in the engine bay looks okay. Let's check our car status again, see if we've at least found everything. Okay, perfect. So we have everything now figured out what this guy needs. That's a really powerful, what is it, an i4? Oh, okay, so the BFM. So this is the engine that we're going to be swapping into when we can. So this will be like level 30, guys. You're going to have to wait on it. I know, I'm super keen to get that thing in there. But this is the BFM engine. It makes 280 horsepower or 279. And 281 foot-pounds of torque. So super powerful inline 4 with the turbocharger on it. That's going to be awesome. We're going to put that in our Mark I Golf that we picked up. But like I said, it's gonna take a while. So let's see. So a repair cost $8 for each part. Looks like we just, it sounds like we just junked that one. So let's just go through all this, and hopefully we can salvage some of it. We're gonna find out. All right, let's take a look here. Starting off with the steering knuckle, that we're gonna have to get. So let's just check our inventory here, and see what we're gonna have to get new. We already got the new rims, so that's no big deal. We need a brake caliper and a brake caliper cylinder. So let's get that here. We can just type brake, should be able to find these fairly easy. First thing, a brake caliper, and then a brake caliper cylinder. All right. Oh wait, I totally forgot we had a iPad or a tablet now. God dang it. No big deal. All right, so we got those two things. We're good there. Let's get a front disc and a drive axle H. Front disc and axle H. There we go. 66 bucks for one of those. That's not terrible. Check back in our inventory here. We can get rid of that and get rid of the axle H. We need a front wheel hub and a front axle knuckle cover. Hub and a front axle knuckle cover. You can just type knuckle. There we go. And then obviously, I remember we're going to need the outer tie rod. And I should just type tie for this. Look what happens when I just type tie. Boom. Both of them pop up. And we need an inner, just like that. Okay, let's check in our inventory now. So we can get rid of the front wheel hub, knuckle cover, outer tie rod we just got, inner tie rod we just got, lower suspension arm, and a front steering knuckle A. So let's get those. Lower suspension arm and knuckle A. Front knuckle A, there we go. Okay, so we can get rid of that. So we can get rid of the knuckle A. We need another caliper. Looks like this cylinder is fine. And a rear brake disc. So let's just get, let's just type brake here. Oh, we could just go to brakes. Wow, that makes it easy. Okay, and then a rear brake disc. There we go. All right, so we can get rid of that now. We can get rid of the brake disc. We need a rear wheel hub and a rear spring cap. Rear wheel hub. That's not going to be in brakes, so let's just type that. Rear wheel hub. Rear spring caps. Let's just type spring here. Could also do suspension, but there's going to be a lot of options. There we go. One of those. Let's check out what else we're going to need here. Okay, so we can ditch the rear wheel hub and ditch the spring cap. We need a rear suspension arm A and a rear shock absorber A. Rear sus and a rear shock absorber A. There we go. Normally, this is the stuff that I would cut out, but this is going to be a good bulk of the episode today. So, rear suspension arm and rear suspension arm B. So we can just type rear sus again. Arm B there, and was it rear suspension arm? There we go. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of arm B. We need the rear suspension upper arm. That was actually in good condition, but when we were going through repairing things, we actually made it worse, which is unfortunate. So rear suspension upper arm, and then rear axle knuckle housing A. Rear suspension upper arm right there, and then let's type knuckle. Rear knuckle housing A right there. Get rid of the upper arm A, get rid of housing A. We need rear muffler for an I4 and an exhaust pipe. Let's grab those. There we go. And then exhaust pipe. One of those. How we doing? Exhaust pipe, got it. Rear muffler, I4, got it. Radiator A, and it looks like that's it. Actually, we just need radiator A, and we should be able to piece this whole thing back together. That's going to bring up some options. There we go, radiator A. All right, first we're going to pop the hood. We're going to go to the engine here, zoom out, because it always zooms in. Super annoying. Let's get our radiator A mounted in there. Get radiator fan housing put back together. There we go. So we're done in the engine bay. We can close the bonnet or the hood up. I always catch myself saying bonnet or hood for some reason. I've never lived in Europe. I just know the lingo. Let's raise it all the way up. I'm all the way up. Let's see, front axle knuckle A. There we go. We can put in the lower suspension arm that we got. Should have plenty of bushings to complete this job. I really, really hope we do. That's like my least favorite thing to purchase from the store. Ooh, shock absorber. So the reason we couldn't repair that is because we didn't have it disassembled. So let's take one of those apart here. I guess that's our only one, isn't it? And then we'll take the parts over to the repair bench and see what we can do. I'm hoping we can repair it, but I highly doubt it. Yeah, okay. So let's see here. We need front shock absorber cap and front shock absorber A. There we go, and front shock absorber cap. Easy as that. Let's get rid of the old stuff in here, the stuff we're not gonna use. There we go. All right, now we can come back over here and join our fabulous parts. Just like that. We can come back to that in a second once it's done. Let's keep plugging away over here. We can get the knuckle cover in. Let's get the wheel hub in there. 3 bolts, or sorry, 3 nuts on the back. We can put our wheel hub bearing in there as well. Get our new front rotor on there. Same pads as before. Those were in good condition. Got the brake caliper. There we go. Now we can put our axle in there. We did get a new axle. Okay, and let's see. On the back side, we got the inner tie rod. We got a new one of those. Outer tie rod right here. Slap that puppy in there. Let's see, what else do we have? I believe we just have this, and then the tie rod, that front tie rod, or not tie rod, front sway bar end link. Okay, so front shock absorber we just completed, so we can bolt that back in there. And then that sway bar end link we're gonna put right here, if it'll let me. There we go. That was in good condition from before. Okay, so now we should be good. I'm gonna hold off on remounting the wheels until we know for sure that we have everything in place. Let's get the new exhaust pipe put in. The rear muffler. Rear knuckle housing A is in. We got rear wheel hub 3. Now we can put the rear wheel hub in there. 4 nuts on this one. And the wheel hub bearing. Slide that in there. Put the wheel hub cap in. That was in good condition as well. Alright, rear brake system going in. Super easy. There we go. 2 bolts on the back. And let's see what else we got here. We got to put a new small rubber bushing in there. Or not new, I guess. And then we have the new suspension arm here. We got the new suspension arm up here that we actually broke. So good thing we're not hurting on money. We got $25,000 after starting this job now. I want to say we started with 28, so we have bought quite a few things. Let's get the springs back in here. Get that rear shock absorber cap put back on there. Okay, and then the rear sway bar end link, that was okay. We just had to remove it to get the knuckle off. Shock absorber A we can put in there. Rear suspension arm, that's going to go back in. Once we get these 3 bolts put in, we're going to have to put in the bushing over here. There we go. Last bushing. That should be all we need. And it looks like we got small rubber bushings over here, and we have 2 of those that are going to work perfectly. Awesome. Okay. That should be everything now. Let me do a quick look around. Okay. Yeah, I think we're looking good. Let's check out the car status here. Rear shock absorber cap they actually wanted replaced. Front spring they wanted replaced. Rear spring they wanted replaced. Okay, so we should have looked at that beforehand. We were just going off of our inventory. So let's get a front spring. Let's get a rear spring. It's got to be in here somewhere. There we go. And then rear shock absorber cap they also wanted. What else we got here? Rear spring, rim classic 06, we're getting on that. We need 2 rubber bushings, 3 rubber bushings. And we're gonna have to figure out where those go. I really have no idea. Like I said, that's my least favorite part, is when we just have rubber bushings to install, because it doesn't tell you where specifically, I'm glad I didn't put those wheels on, where specifically it needs to go. So let's hop in the front here. Obviously we messed up. We got to take off the front sway bar end link here. And then we're gonna have to take out the shock absorber here and put it back in the machine, disassemble it, and reassemble it with a new front spring. All right, let's put this thing back in here, and hopefully that's what he wanted. Nut and a bolt, top and bottom. Now we can put in the sway bar end link again. Hopefully we don't have to remove it. We should be all right. Okay, so we're looking good here. Let's see, those rubber bushings are really throwing me for a loop, because I have no idea where those are coming from. I suppose we could use the overview tool. Yeah, there we go. So we got one bad one back here. Let's get rid of him. It's always something to do with the subframe bushings. Every time. Every single time. There we go. Put one of those in there. Alright, that's looking good. Let's do the same for the front. And here are the last 2. Perfect. Again, subframe. So we'll take out these 2 subframe bushings. And we will plop some new ones in there. No big deal at all. There we go. One there and one back here. Perfect. Now we can actually mount this rim. So we only have one. We got the other one still on the balancer. We'll have to go grab that quick. All right. Before we do that, let's check the car status one last time. Rear shock absorber cap we're gonna have to remove. The rear spring, and then we just have the rear wheel. So let's get in here. We got to rotate around till we see that thing. Let's just focus in on it. So let's remove the rear cap and the rear spring, and let's mount the new ones, the 100% ones. 80%. I wouldn't have even noticed. Apparently this dude's pretty picky. But to be honest, I probably would be too if I stole my father-in-law's car and took it to a party and smashed through, what did he say, pothole? Possibly, he wasn't even sure. Okay, get these 5 lugs put in here. This is super like BMW. Some of the cars do have just not axle nuts, but lug nuts and not lug studs. These are all lug studs for like every model, which I'm actually used to owning all these European cars. We should be good to go now. Got 100% on the repair. No oil change or anything like that. We spent $2,900 and we're getting a total payout of $5,000. Perfect. So that's going to put us, we got about a $2,000 increase since we started with $28,000. Now we have $30K in the bank. And we're at 3,900 XP with a increase at 41. So once we reach 41, we should be able to either upgrade our repair skill or keep trying to. I say we go for the repair and go for the garage upgrade again. So we'll need 1, 2, and then 3 on the 3rd skill point. We'll be able to upgrade the garage again. So I think that's going to do it for this episode, guys. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment. Help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.